But Simon Reeve has found that one of the world's oldest breweries, and perhaps its best known, has managed to combine the past and the future with few compromises. It was a tough assignment, but someone had to do it.
When Irish eyes are smiling, and that's most of the time, there's usually a pint of the famous black elixir near at hand. It is much more than a mere drink. In this enchanting land of literature and leprechauns, mirth and merriment, Guinness is a part of life. Nowhere in the world is a drink more synonymous with a city than Guinness is with Dublin. Arthur Guinness founded the company here on the banks of the River Liffey in 1759, and all through the years the unique formula has never changed. But these days it's produced by means that its founding father could never have imagined. Cheers. While the drink never changes, all around it, a technological transformation is the foundation for the company's launch into the next century. Annual output of 72 million gallons, or more than 300 million litres, demands it.
We made major plans in the early 80s, and we have now developed probably one of the most modern breweries in the world from a technology point of view. All of that, of course, has meant bringing along people to adapt to the changes, and that has been a considerable change as well.
There was 2 dips I'd like to get, if possible. 11 and 101. If you like, I'll set them up for you.
Computer banks control nearly all aspects of the brew, from the intake of raw materials to the finished product. Operators are always on hand to override the system should any problems arise. People are by no means redundant. Even in this world of computers and state-of-the-art technology, the human touch is still maintained in the brewing process. Every half hour, an operator takes a sample of the wort, not the human type, but the sugar solution, to test it for its strength, which ensures that all the sugar has been extracted from the malt. And that is perfect. Walking around these giant old coppers, one feels a sense of the tradition that is behind every brew. Inside these, the hops are added, giving it that characteristic bitter taste. The contrast between old and new is startling. Coppers in this part of the factory, ironically, are made from aluminium and are considerably larger. The only thing that doesn't change is the smell. It pervades the building and much of Dublin town. Each of the coppers can hold the equivalent of about 23,000 gallons, or 100,000 litres. Once the hops has been added and the brew has been boiled, it's chilled as it's carried down through huge pipes to the fermentation plant by the river. At the fermentation tuns, the special yeast is mixed in, feeding on the sugar in the wort to produce alcohol. In yet another space-age control room, this final critical stage of the brewing process is coordinated. At each workstation, the operators are as well versed in computer technology as they are in brewing the very best Guinness. A flashing light warns that a valve in the intricate system should be closed. With the yeast removed by a centrifuge, the stout is matured in huge tanks for several days. Further blending and refining, and your Guinness is ready for delivery.
It's very much unique. I think it has always had and continues to have a great tradition of goodness.
It seems that people all over the world feel the same way. Because of its high mineral content and carbohydrates, it's often prescribed to nursing mothers, in moderation of course. 40% of the brewery's output is exported overseas. Guinness is consumed in more than 150 countries, from Ireland to Iceland, all of which means the marketing must be one step ahead of the customer. Meeting with change is inevitably about people's changing tastes, and on the international market, the company has devised an ingenious means of producing real draft Guinness in a can. A small plastic device is fitted inside the bottom of the can, which allows some beer inside it. When the can is opened, pressure is released, pushing the beer which is inside the device out into the can. This faithfully reproduces that foaming effect, which is known as the surge. It goes without saying that, in excess, Guinness would be as harmful as any other beer or stout, and we're not trying to turn anyone into an alcoholic. But a drink that has survived and thrived over 2 centuries must surely have something in its favour, or should we say, flavour. No one has any idea just how many pints of Guinness have been pulled here at the Brazen Head Hotel, just around the corner from the factory. The pub was open more than 100 years before the drink was even invented.